C3 Risk and Insurance Services.
Guys, you need coverage, and Joe Earl at C3 Risk Insurance Services has all the coverage you need. Go to facebook.com/C3 Insured to get all your information. Reach out. If you get a policy, they'll give you a $25 Amazon gift card that you can use to buy me lessons in dictation.
Stand Up Talk. Now, another offering from the Stand Up Talk Radio Network.
Crime is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
And I, Jen and Shefsky, promise to always call you out and call out our characters in the story for all of their bullshit.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bullshit in this show.
But not bullshit from the show's end of we're not creating bullshit.
But these people
this
are bullshit.
This is quality.
These motherfuckers on this motherfucking show.
But these criminals think they can get away with this
always
shit?
causing problems.
Without us commenting on what they're
Bitch,
doing?
please.
Without someone mentioning their boners?
Please play the music.
Play the music, please. Please play the music.
For the love of God.
Please, we beg of you.
Crime is the show that starts now.
Like right now?
Oh, yeah. Do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything
them
to me. Don't you dare.
Crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send
Label
anything.
it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good. We're back, motherfuckers. We took a 2-week break. You didn't know because we have backlogged episods.
Why are you telling them you took a break? They don't need to know that.
Pulling the curtain back a little.
It was a good break, though. Slaton had to go...
I went to the woods.
He went to the woods. It had nothing to do with it. It sounds like we were parents telling their kids, we took a little break here. Mommy and Daddy just took a little break.
We just took some time off, you know.
Took a little time off.
Just needed to reset and rekindle. Our love is stronger now.
It's much better now, and whatever happened wasn't your guys'
I have
fault.
herpes. Your mother doesn't. But...
That is the nature of breaking up, right?
Yeah.
We're having time off? Daddy gonna fuck a bunch.
Ooh, boy.
Mommy, now that I said that, my wife's never gonna give me time
Mommy
off.
might fuck too, though.
She might.
Everybody fucks. Yeah, as you can see, we didn't lose our rhythm of how this show usually starts off. Sorry, Mom. Early up.
We have sorry, Mom. Sorry, wife.
Sorry, everybody, really. Our guest today, one of my favorite people, former neighbor of mine, hilarious comedian with multiple CDs on iTunes. Check that shit out.
So many CDs on iTunes. Please welcome
Jen Murphy!
Yay!
Jen cut her hair short for this episode.
Yeah, specifically.
Just for this episode. It
Yep.
looks badass.
I know.
I was like, we have Melanie Griffith on the show?
I wanted to tell you that you didn't need to change your appearance for an audio podcast, but, you just went for it, and I believe in you.
I'm trying to get in detective mode.
Yeah?
Yeah. I look more serious,
You
don't I?
aviator sunglasses for Jen? That'd be awesome. And a little badge.
You definitely look like at least one part of the partnership for every crime show on television. Dun dun, and then you walk in with a briefcase.
Yeah.
I can dig
That's
it.
what I was going for.
I want to see Jen with a gun, basically.
More
That's what it
mature.
boils down to. Whether you're
I
a
bet
bad...
Jen is. I bet you fired guns before.
I've fired guns before.
Yeah, anything cool?
Yeah. When I was in Afghanistan, I got to fire like a big old, I don't know what they're called.
Is that when you worked
I
for
got
the
to
Taliban?
shoot a grenade.
You know, fire a grenade,
Yeah. Scary as fuck.
dude.
What was that like?
I was terrified because I'm like, I'm going to be that one asshole who accidentally moves the wrong way, has a stroke and sends the grenade into the...
You cocky, it's not working as you pointed at the sergeant. No.
Sean Halpin totally made fun of me. So we were firing guns, and I picked up the shells because I'm like, I'm going to take these home as a souvenir. And I told him right before we were going on to the airport, he goes, what the fuck are you doing? You can't bring that on an airplane. I'm like, well, it's not really bullets
Yeah,
anymore.
they've been fired, man.
I didn't know that was illegal.
Michael George Thevis.
God, very graceful segue, Mr. Slaton.
Rich is
You're
like, I'm
welcome.
done with your
I
stupid
know.
story
What
about
an
guns.
ass. I know in the middle of your story. So I says to myself.
That was not the middle. That was the end.
That was the end?
That was the end of that
Oh,
story.
fuck.
Jen,
I
we
could feel
told
it.
you not to talk so much.
I could feel it.
Rich grew some chutzpah before.
Michael George Thevis was born on February 25th, 1932 in Raleigh, North Carolina.
1932, just before the World War II.
Is that how it worked? My mom corrected me, by the way, on our, we apparently got all of our dates wrong. We talked about last time we
course.
talked about World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But we're
good-
roughly in the area. We're not 1946,
We didn't say-
1947. We're not in 2043.
1945, apparently.
It's 45?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, so I see.
Unless I've
We're
also
close.
forgotten it since I talked to her like a week ago. And she made me. We didn't say the 60s. We didn't say World War II ended in 1973, right when disco came on the scene.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Tell your mom to correct us when we're like, when the Japanese started killing all the Jews. That's when we need someone to be like, that's not what happened.
I love that your mom sends you notes.
Oh, yeah.
She's also his manager, his agent, and his comedy mentor. Go on with your story,
Yeah, Mom,
Slaton.
get on my career, please.
Go on with your story.
His mom and dad were poor Greek immigrants who separated when he was young, leaving him to be raised by his grandparents.
And they falafel.
Yes. They were devout Greek Orthodox churchgoers, and Mike spent his youth as an altar boy. For a brief while, he set his sights on becoming a
Molested.
priest.
He's a criminal.
I see
we
dicks
can end the
in his
podcast now.
future.
You know, there's nothing here about him taking any dicks, as far as I know.
You don't have to
I'm
take
sorry
a
that
dick to
I'm
be
sorry that I
molested.
ruined, or there's no weird dickery as far as I know in this episode.
Well, should we
Okay.
go? Should we just go get some sushi?
Well,
Yeah.
we'll make
Yes.
some.
Yeah, let's go to Pokey.
Shut up. What happened to this guy?
For a brief while, he set his sights on the priesthood, but there was something he loved even more than
Oh,
God.
he wanted to be a molester. Oh, I see where this is going.
Money.
Oh, dun, 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 dun.
Young Michael abandoned his plans for the priesthood after he was convicted for attempted robbery. By 17...
Unlike so many priests that make it through. It's a big filter.
Yeah. By 17, he dropped out of school to start working. His prospects were slim in Raleigh, so in 1950, he hitched a ride on the back of an orange truck to the southern metropolis of Atlanta.
Oh.
Like so many men of his generation.
For a brief time, he enrolled at Georgia Tech to study engineering, but again, he dropped out, this time to work at a downtown newsstand for $50 a week, around $500 today.
Thank you so much for beating me to it.
Dude, got you.
You don't even let me have the joy of being like, but Rich, how much would that be in today's terms?
Well, maybe you'll have more opportunities.
Oh, because maybe.
Who knows? In 1951, Mike fell in love and married Joan, a 16-year-old girl who worked at a local shop.
Little story about Mike and Joan.
Living in a place that's pretty shitty.
What place is it again?
They were living in a
Atlanta.
poor, cramped apartment next to the federal penitentiary.
Oh, yikes.
But it's in Atlanta, and that place is pretty popular.
Now.
Yeah, now. Exactly. Atlanta then, I mean, it was a desolate wasteland made mostly of people fighting over gasoline and pieces of bread.
Downtown Atlanta's now is like West Hollywood.
Sounds
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It
You
sounds
been?
like it used to be like what
Yeah.
Detroit is now.
I have
right?
I know nothing about Atlanta other than I've flown through the airport a few times. What's up, Delta?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have good grits.
Get
right?
yourself
It's the
on
South.
that Laughing Skull Comedy Fest.
Mike and Joan had so little money that some mornings his car's engine would be frozen because he couldn't afford antifreeze.
Oh.
Well, that's a good joke, huh? You so broke you can't afford antifreeze.
Yeah,
Doesn't have a good rhyme to it or a good twist, but it still it works. The rhythm works.
At one point, they were forced out of the hovel when the rent rose to $57 a week.
Jesus. But in today's day and age, how much would
He's
$57 a week
$7
be?
short.
How much would that be a week these days?
Well, he's making
$57?
$50, which was $500, so 57 would probably be 500.
307? 507?
Yeah, 500 and something.
Okay. So 500, let's say 530.
Maybe it was
bucks.
like maybe nearly 600.
And that was per week?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, that actually is really expensive for today's day and age.
No, his rent was the rent was $57 a month, not a week.
Now
I don't
we're
know.
going back, and I'm like, that's
know
a
what?
really good deal.
You know what? I don't know.
Hey, you could do that with Postmates or Uber.
Whatever numbers.
This guy doesn't need to get turned to crime. He could be a driver.
Postmates.
Pick up somebody's yogurt.
Did
But-
he pray to make more money, or did he just
Oh, that
abandon
works.
God
Let me tell you how much
altogether?
that works. Ask the kid in the Sudan. Hey, did you pray for that? I don't think that works.
But Mike was ambitious, promising his wife that he would be a millionaire before he was 30. The fit young
Don't we all? Am I right?
I believe it.
Fist bumps around.
I'm going to make millions before I'm 30. Wait, did I already fuck up?
Yeah.
Darn it.
You idiot.
I should have done that years ago.
You dummy.
The fit young man with thick black hair was persuasive and motivated, eventually convincing his boss to open another newsstand with him as the manager.
Yeah.
By 1955,
1955 score was really good at 1950. Actually,
By
that's
1955, Mike was no longer an employee, owning 3 of his own newsstands.
Well, this guy's going somewhere.
called the American Dream, Mike.
Did he rob his own newsstands?
Oh, he will.
Oh, well, so now you're telling the parts of the story already?
No, I'm just saying things that are false.
Okay.
It didn't take long for him to notice something strange. 90% of his profits were coming from just 10%
Chewing gum, right?
of his inventory.
Right? It was like his chewing gum and his candy bars.
No, sure. What do you guys think the 90% of his profits were coming from?
The newspapers.
I'm starting to think opium, by the way. You just like smacked me out of the way with that.
No, it was
chewing gum
a real
People
product.
magazine.
People magazine?
Yeah.
That was it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's your guess? Your guess is chewing gum?
a periodical about the
Red Bulls.
Red Bulls, 1955 Red Bulls.
What else do they have? Fidget
1955.
spinners? Fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners.
What, the old school fidget spinners? These bearings are rusty and heavy from the dock.
90% of his profits
your thumb
came from
strong.
10% of inventory, the girly magazines.
I
Oh,
didn't even
yeah. Yeah,
think of porn.
course. I know. It's so right there. It's like oxygen to us.
I did say a magazine though, so technically I kind of won that.
Magazines like Dude, Gent, and Playboy.
There's a magazine called Dude.
There was.
It's not around anymore?
Probably not.
How could a magazine called Dude not survive hundreds of years till the end of civilization?
Because
I
girls
know.
don't want to look at naked men.
I don't either,
think
but
it
I'll
had
still
naked
buy a
men in
magazine
it.
that says
It's called Dude.
Yeah, it was like for dudes.
Oh.
See, Jen?
I thought it
It
was a bunch
should
of-
be around. I was
Playboy-
right.
Playboy doesn't refer to the women. It refers to like the guy wearing a
I thought it
smoking
was a bunch
jacket.
of hairy buttholes.
Dude.
Dude, if the whole magazine was just close up like macro shots of dudes' hairy assholes every page, and then it had like the interview segment with the fold out, talks about the person.
I'd buy at
but
least
you
one
never
issue.
see their face.
Now that I know your
would too.
mom listens, I'm nervous to say something too dirty.
Oh,
please.
That's great. Go follow that gut instinct for the
Yeah.
rest of your life, Jen. Fuck that. Any mom that listens is cool enough to hear people say fuck.
I just want to point out that we're starting with porn, and we're on page 2.
Nice.
So just want to let you guys know.
Yeah, where's it going to build to?
Yeah.
Nuclear warfare?
Don't you
Shit-eating?
worry.
I mean, what do you...
In fact, these magazines were the only reason his business was turning a profit. This was even more surprising given that many states, including Georgia, had obscenity laws that put these type of publications in a legal no man's land. The first of Mike's over 100 arrests came from selling Playboy.
100 arrests.
Over 100 arrests.
He sold Playboy? Mm-hmm. This is a story about turning a man that was just trying to sell a cool magazine, turning him into a criminal. They sent him to
So
jail.
wait, now it's illegal?
I mean, it's 1955.
Oh.
Yeah, like a lot of things are illegal.
It's weird. It's
Like
stuff we
being
take
cool.
we take for granted now, like thinking
Yeah.
that, like, of course they were petty like that. And
Like,
guess what?
Things like
were.
Playboy, being black, being a woman with opinions, like all those things were illegal in 1955.
Got it. Okay.
So thank your lucky stars, woman, that you're around now and all that's
Listen,
gone.
Yeah, as a black man, I gotta say we have done a lot and we made it here. No one's seen pictures of us, right?
No, not at all. In 1960, Mike moved into the publishing business, creating and selling a guide to America's nudist colonies. Despite having no pictures, it became a huge hit.
Just reading about him, like you get hard being like, oh, it's just over there.
Well, so where might I go? Ooh,
People are walking around naked right now.
honey, I'm going on a vacation.
Where are you going?
You know, just west, generally.
Can I come?
Shit. It's my brother, and I don't have a brother. Shit. It's my dad and I are going.
I want to go.
I bought you a new vacuum. Isn't that nice?
Well, sure, I'll vacuum when we get back from our trip. Why are you being so weird, honey?
Hey, will you just go in the backyard really quick and check to make sure that the dog's okay?
Sure, I think that's enough for me to start trusting you. Yes, I'll go there.
Footstep.
This
Door
is
closed,
normal.
tire screech.
Just to go to a nudist. Slaton, people go to nudist colonies as couples, though. Trust me, I've watched their movies before. Their docs have
Not these
fascinated
perverts.
me.
That's what I'm feeling.
This is not the normal nudist colony.
On
It's a
the
bunch of naked dudes looking through a hole in the wall in France.
I'll probably look at
watching
each other,
The ladies dance.
looking down the barrel of the gun.
Is that what they called it? Is this a glory hole story? All right, go on. Just go on. I gotta hear more.
Glory hole story.
They have those, and we'll do them. God damn it!
On the bareback of the nudist guide.
Oh, that's good wording there. I can't quit you, Slaton.
Mike opened a company that produced countless cheap paperbacks filled with sex scenes from cover to cover. A writing staff turned out piles of books with very subtle titles like A Teacher Confesses to Sex in the Classroom.
Where's this writing job? Speaking of,
That's an old
side
story.
note, yeah.
I have
geez.
so many times considered just on the side writing trashy like romance novels just to make a little bit extra money.
Yeah.
Because you look at that, if you've ever read a page of 50 Shades of Grey,
No, I haven't.
You're like, it requires no intelligence was required to write that.
Bruh, I live 50 Shades of Grey. I have a room in my house for pleasures.
You should do it and sell it as merch.
Yeah, well, first of all, no, I'd have to change my name. You can't
Rich's
be
Guide to Sexuality, the book. That actually would be great.
I'd have to
buy
have a
it.
We should
female
all have
pen name.
that.
You can't be a dude. Like, no guy is the leading seller of like trashy romance novels. I'd
Well,
have
you
Maybe in
could
the
be the
old days.
first.
Jen's right. Now it's time to break those barriers down, Slaton. If black
Yeah.
people can drive and women can vote, you can make a sex novel.
Black people can drive.
I don't know. I'm just, thinking of all the weird laws. They probably couldn't at some point, right? There's all these dumb laws, right?
Yeah, you know what? I can do it. I believe in it now.
Okay.
What are some other names? No. Oh, one of his more prolific writers, using the pseudonym Donna D. Dildo,
Yes.
was future low-budget cult filmmaker Ed Wood.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He was saying Dawn of the Dildo.
Dawn of the-
Dildo?
Dawn of the Dildo?
It is Dawn of the Dildo. Like Dawn of the Dead? Same.
Damn you, dirty dildos! Damn you all to hell!
It's like a horror story of dildos.
It's the end of Planet of the Apes. Planet of the
Oh.
Dildos. You go out on a space mission, you come back.
Oh, Planet of the Apes reference. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm not good at Planet of the Apes.
Yeah?
I could do like a Dumb and Dumber reference or a half.
I know you can.
But Planet, of the
Half-baked.
Planet of the Apes, I'm like, that was the one that was kind of depressing, right? Yep.
Eventually, Mike became
We're all
partners.
the humans. What happened to us?
Oh, no. Eventually, Mike became partners with Kenny the Jap Hanna, a mobster and pornographer who helped him spread his smut across the country.
How could a mobster be named Kenny the Jap?
Is he Japanese?
I don't think so.
Hey,
I don't think so. No, the Italian, they came up with they would oh, you're Mark the Big Nose Jew Roberts or whatever. That was how they did nicknames.
I'm not.
I mean,
I'm Mark the regular-sized Jew. There's nothing stereotypical about me.
Mark, I want you to do something. Just go stand next to the sun.
Yes.
Okay, now turn your head to the left. It's a full solar eclipse.
I'm burning.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I'm also burning. I'm very light-skinned. It's very sensitive.
we shouldn't have taken you outside.
No.
This is why. Let me give you one of your big hats.
But you can always bring Kenny the Jap.
Hey, Kenny. Hey,
Kenny, I know that you've taken the nickname very seriously.
hey,
You're from Queens
hey.
and you're Italian. But
It is not a whoopatigo. Hey,
you know what? The nickname fits. I think we just go,
if
let's
the
go with it.
shoe fit.
It's it's really weird. Kenny keeps bringing lasagna sushi to work. It doesn't make any sense.
Very, very good. My mother used to make it like this. Spicy meatball.
I wonder what Kenny sounds like when he jerks off.
Oh, I'm going to come when next tentacle comes onto screen. Oh. Time for a cigarette and a nice cold cut trio sandwich with a mortadella salami. Hey! And then he cuts it with a katana.
I mean, he's the only guy who shows up to all of our family meetings in a kimono. It's very disconcerting.
I like a hot pepper.
Hey, Candy, I'd like to make you an offer you can't refuse. Cut it with the fucking accent, all right?
This has gone on too far, folks. Let's talk like we normally talk.
Mike's business took a new turn in 1967 during a visit to New York City.
So he's in his 30s now. He's doing well. He hangs out with Japanese mobsters.
Japanese, Italian mobsters.
Japanese,
Yeah.
Italian.
Italians.
Nudist colonies.
Italianese, yeah.
Nudist colonies. He's making
Making books.
He's Ed Wood's writing for him.
He's gone from selling magazines to making his own.
He's an entrepreneur.
I'm assuming in this time he's also like living kind of that wild life of like in the 50s of driving convertibles and like hang out with the models, taking pictures with them, like the American Apparel's dude.
Sort of. I think he has either 3 or 5 kids by this point. I know he ends up with 5 kids total.
Story is much
But he's
more
like
boring.
he's a married human being. But
Okay.
who knows? Maybe he's like I read that he didn't even allow Playboy in his house. Despite like becoming this big porn guy, he was like, "That's the business.
Oh,
None of this smut inside my home."
He's like those organic potato farmers or the potato guys that make their own. They're like, I have my own organic stuff. I would never keep the Monsanto.
How'd you go from
ones."
Playboy to potatoes?
That's what they always ask me at the doctor's appointments. Go on with your story. What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Mike's business took a turn in '67 during a visit to New York City when he saw his first peep show machine.
Oh.
And he's like, you know what? You can have Playboy in my house.
The first such devices were invented in the 1890s and quickly became popular.
God bless
The patron would put a penny in the slot, then turn a hand crank to make the pictures move.
Oh, I'll turn 2 hand cranks.
While early booths showed cartoons or silly physical comedy, within a decade or so of their invention, they were selling sex. The girly reels range from barely suggestive to full-on softcore porn.
Yes.
Is this where they have the real girls behind the glass?
Is this still open?
No, this is just like, you would go, this is, again, starting in the 1890s, Thomas Edison invented one of the 2 most popular machines.
Boo! I'm a Tesla guy. Am I right, folks?
Right.
hipsters? Tesla?
You'd go and you'd put your head against like weird goggle things.
Yeah.
And then you'd put a penny in and turn the crank.
Yeah.
And these little individual pictures would flip and create a moving image.
Yeah.
Of
Got
like
it.
a girl dropping her dress to the floor or something more risque or less risque.
Yeah. And then you just put another coin in, and then there's a button down.
And
at
could
your,
you
at
jerk
your
off
waist
in those
level.
booths?
Not at this time. This will eventually lead to jerk-off booths.
Got it.
Machines often carried suggestive titles promising more sexuality than was actually featured on the reels. On one show titled...
So the
What-
industry basically started off like ripping people off. Right
Yeah.
away, it was like luring them in, and then.
But also, that's how fast we get into sex, because these things were invented in 1890.
Yeah.
And by 1898, the New York, like the San Francisco Chronicle and the Washington Times were running articles about how this was corrupting the youth, because they could go see a lady like posing kind of suggestively.
Yeah,
Changing her
the kids
underwear.
they're sending off to have their heads and legs blown off in war. They're like, they can't see people having sex nor have sex.
No, just let him go pay French girls to do it.
Well, that actually sounds hot.
Yeah.
You say French, I think of good food and hot
I think
chicks.
armpit sex.
Armpits.
Did you have armpit sex? Did we ever settle that? Have you done that?
No one's done that. You just
I've seen
believe
it in
everything.
porn. I've seen it before in porn.
Yeah?
I
You
guarantee.
have?
Anything like that can be sexualized. And yes, I've seen people have sex with armpits. I've seen a woman sitting in a chair and two guys standing next to her, and like she's got her arms down like this, and they're both like having sex with her, and it looks pleasurable. They look like they're having fun. It's some random.
And
weird
did you
porn.
try it?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Why?
Grow
Show.
out that armpit hair, please. You can't. Otherwise, it's a cactus panini. You don't want to do that.
One show titled
Not hot.
one show titled "What the Butler Saw" showed
the
a woman
Butler Saw?
partially undressing through a keyhole. In the UK, the machines ended up being called "What the Butler Saw" machines.
Nice.
That's a lot of
What
syllables.
did the butler say?
A girl, yeah, ooh.
Ooh, nice deltoid. I'm so aroused. Your ankles look
Back
hot.
to 1967, pornographic peep show machines were all over Times Square.
Time's flying.
When Mike arrived in the city, he saw customers lining up to get a chance at the booths. They were so popular, they were breaking down from being overstuffed with quarters.
Oh, what an awesome
Why
problem
wasn't
to
anyone
have.
cleaning out the machines?
Because the floors were too slippery. Everyone tried to go in there. It was like a banana peel slip. They would zing!
I can't hold this broom.
Next. Yeah. They just okay, go on.
Boss, we
work-
lost another janitor. He died when he hit his head off of slipping on piles of jizz. It was very unfortunate.
Well, somebody get in there and squeegee it up. Johnson, you got the nice squeegee. Get in there.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Up, another dead one.
All right, next. Who else I got? All of a sudden, it's just the boss by himself. What do you do with these things?
I need to just burn down the building and start afresh.
Start afresh.
This episode brought to you by Fresh and Easy Grocery Store.
Mike saw there was not only a demand, but room to improve the machines. He went back to Atlanta, where he and Kenny the Jap partnered with an ex-con/locksmith named Roger Underhill to build their own more secure prototype.
It just has a bigger area for quarters.
Within 2 years, they were selling their perfect theft-proof machine across the country. Since the U.S. Supreme Court had just made it legal to possess pornography, but not to produce or sell it, the market was wide open. Despite making 50 machines a week, they could not keep up with demand.
Jesus.
What industry is that nowadays, and how do we get involved?
Right? Within a year,
Machines a week.
Mike was a millionaire and Roger a minor partner in the company. Kenny the Jap soon left the team to join a rival company in New York.
How much would $1 million be now?
A lot.
Oh my God, a ton of like a laughable amount. And $1 million in '67.
Yeah. Very. I
$1.2 million at least.
at least.
No, it's probably like 10 million now, 15 million, right?
I don't know
At
exactly.
least.
I didn't get that one.
It's got. You didn't get the.
I know.
The million.
I'm so
millions?
sorry. The million.
Are you teasing me? And now you're gonna bust out with
no,
the actual
I don't
number?
have it. Mike and Roger became close friends. Their families did the holidays together, and the friends would spend what little time they weren't working exploring the outdoors. Life was good. By 1970, Mike and Roger had 6,000 machines across the country.
Oh my!
So it's totally legal everywhere now.
It's still in a weird gray area.
At that point, though, you could lose a few every. You could be like, I lost 10 machines yesterday, and be like, it's cool. I got 5,900, 990 left. You know what I mean? You just start throwing
Yeah.
them out. It's better to like accidentally lose a few than to not invest in those areas, right? Because it's a gray area.
They started saving even more money by filming their own reels to put in the machines.
It's just them sucking each other's dicks. Hey, why don't you do me? I'll do you.
That sounds like a good idea. You go first.
Okay. Wait, which one's going? What does it mean to go first? That's my next question, sir.
That's a very good point. I didn't think that one through.
That's right. Well, I'll just count my money while you suck my dick, and then if there's any time left, I'll suck your dick after you're done.
You know what that does? That does. You're a better counter than I am. So.
Whoop, I came. All right, gotta go. Sorry, my wife's calling me.
Wait, what? Ah, man.
Peace out, dude. We're gonna be rich. As he's driving down the street.
He gets me with this every day. one of these days, I'm not going to let her pull the football out from under my feet. Tell you what. They saved money, but success brought more trouble with the law. Mike was repeatedly arrested for interstate distribution of pornography. But he had the money to hire expensive attorneys and take advantage of the flexible morals during the sexual revolution. Mm-hmm. While porn was the cash cow, Mike was smart, investing his profits in over 200 straight companies, ranging from mail-order cheese to a furniture company. He joined the board of his local church.
Mail order cheese?
How do you send cheese in the mail?
With stamps.
You just take a block and you put stamps on it? I mean, like, I like cheese room temperature too.
What you do is you take the cheese, you shred it, put it in an envelope, lick it closed,
That's the greasiest mail I've ever received.
and just hope.
You're so cute, Slaton.
He joined the board of his local church and made regular charitable donations throughout the city. Mike perfectly managed every aspect of his world except for one, his love life.
I was gonna say his mirage.
By this point, Mike Thevis was very different from the man Joan married back when they could barely afford an apartment next to a federal prison. She chafed at his extravagant ways, and they fought regularly. In an attempt to rekindle the magic, they took dance classes together.
Oh.
Their teacher,
Salsa.
Jeanette Evans...
I think we both imagine salsa in the suburbs.
Their teacher, Jeanette Evans, was a lot like Mike, a tough farm girl who moved to Atlanta to make her fortune.
Who would soon bone Mike.
Yeah.
And then break up the marriage.
No, they didn't break up the marriage. But Joan quit coming to classes, and Mike bought the dance school and then started dating
Oh,
Jeanette.
that's the rich people problems, huh?
And then my husband goes and he buys the dance school.
Well, there were lots of
all
mirrors.
bummed out in like a fucking super tall room. Like, oh.
I love that his wife just stopped going to class.
Yeah. Well, once you have a marriage where you get tied in with that kind of money, it becomes all sorts of other conflicts of interest. You know, like a normal person
that's
would be like,
true.
"Fuck you, I'm out of here." But like, at that stage, you're like, "But I spend like $60,000
Joan's no
a week."
dummy.
Yeah, Joan's no dummy. Neither is John. Right? John's smart. Hey.
Mike was obsessed with becoming the top dog in the porn industry, and his ambitions continued to draw the eye of law enforcement.
He had goals.
Roger Underhill, as it turned out, was a low-level member of New York's Gambino crime family.
Is this a good thing, Rich?
It's the mob, the mafia.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just asking for
I
this.
mean, it depends on how you define it.
Okay.
The intelligence division of the Atlanta PD began to investigate Mike's business, suspicious that he had mob ties.
Is this guy doing anything that like we would consider actually morally bad, or just like Judeo-Christian?
Well, I just want you to look
bad?
at how many pages we have left, and then realize where the roller coaster usually goes.
Wow, you just gave me like a real fatherly fucking open your fucking eyes kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been here before. Act like it.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm so sorry.
Biatch.
I'm so sorry, guys. This is the episode where I'm broken. I'm so sorry.
Mike denied any mafia connections. Even if the rumors were false, he conducted his business in a way that would make the five families proud. As competitors began to rise up, he put them down. At first, it was simple, even silly. He loved to set off stink bombs inside venues that used his competitors' machines.
You're all trying to rub one out. You're like, yeah. Wait. Is that a fart? Is that a greasy, stinky, oily fart
With a side of cheese.
with a side of cheese?
Where's the... Is someone send me an envelope full of cheese? I told them that's not how I want my mail order cheese. It's weird they sent it to this porn shop where I hang. How do they know I'm here all the time?
I could finish if it stank if the pictures were hot enough in the machine.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd be
How-
like, it stinks. And then I'd be like, brain, ignore all signals from nostrils. Move on.
You just rip your
Yeah.
shirt off and tie it over your face?
Yeah, I'd be
stink
like
ain't
the
gonna hurt
captain
ya.
of the Starship Enterprise. I'd be like, all right, stop concentrating on the nostril signals. Focus all energy onto the frenum.
But Captain, it smells so bad.
Just focus everything on that shaft.
I can't
Do you
do it.
hear me?
Oh.
Focus on the shaft. And then we'd make it through, and that'd be the end of the episode.
It's so much funnier when you do that with the fly in your hair.
Oh my God, I saw a fly flying around.
It's been in there for a while.
Is that a fly or a bee? I'm actually wondering what the fuck that is.
Fly.
You said it's been in there for a while? Well, he lives with me, all right?
I was just watching him move around your hair.
Let the listeners know. Take note, listeners. I had a fly in my hair.
In 1970,
But I promise you I'm clean.
a customer put in an order to lease 50 machines from Mike. But the order was too large to get filled in time. So the man turned to Nat Balin, a manufacturer who made peep show machines for cartoons, and offered to flat out buy 50 machines if he could use them for porn.
Oh, competition.
Nat obliged. Mike was not happy.
I don't think the mob is going to approve of this.
Uh-oh.
Hey, fellas, we got a little problem.
Time for the Jap to come in.
What's going on? Don't fucking talk like me.
No, you're talking like me.
I'll fucking have you fucking whacked. You gonna whack me? Is that a promise? I've been waiting for this for so long. I thought that we were too macho to make that happen, but you know, it is the 70s now. I should have known that in this improv riff of the Italians, you could somehow turn it into some sort of homoerotic hand job situation. It's my superpower. Forget about it and go on. 4-time dick joke champion. Go on with your fucking story.
On April 26, 1970, Roger Underhill and a hired thug broke into Nat Balin's warehouse, stacked all the furniture and papers they could find in the middle of the room,
Burn that shit to the ground.
covered it in 5 gallons of gas, and lit it on fire.
Oh,
You just fuck with the wrong porn producer.
As the flames consumed the building, Roger called Mike from a payphone and said, Vini Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Oh, can you do that in an accent?
Vini Vidi Vici.
Go on.
I came, I saw, I conquered.
I came, I saw, I conquered. It was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
By now,
We still don't have real girls yet?
Huh?
Why aren't there real girls yet?
What do you mean?
Oh, Jen's mad that they're still just employing like the
pictures.
the photos, but not actual real women. This fly does like my hair.
Just hold on.
He's like
Jen.
running.
The 70s.
This story has a lot more facets that are going to open up. Just here. Let me give you the key, and you can step inside this door really soon.
That fly almost landed in your eye like Aeon Flux. Get out of here, fly! You got 23 hours left to live. What are you going to waste it in here?
I will kill you on MTV. By now, the company was bringing in $25 million in profits each year.
Oh my god!
Around $160 million today.
Can you imagine? I'd use the air
Jesus.
conditioning all fucking summer.
But that wasn't enough for Mike. He wanted to expand. On Friday, November 30th, 1970, Mike invited his old partner, Kenny the Jap Hanna, to a meeting at his warehouse in downtown Atlanta.
Thank you for having me. Where do I put my shoes?
Kenny thought he was there for a business opportunity.
They are Italian rather.
What he didn't know was that Mike had an informant inside the police department who told him that police had seized a truck from Kenny's company full of unlicensed copies of Mike's films.
Kenny's inner thought. I hope he does not know about the film license in the truck.
Hannah had already stolen the business idea. Now he was stealing content.
Oh, shit.
Oh fuck!
As they walked through the warehouse, Mike pulled out a gun and shot Kenny in the chest 3 times.
Oh, why?
As he lay there dying, Mike put one more in his head.
Put me out of my misery. I have dishonored.
You know,
I
I was
miss
actually
Kenny the Jap.
I was thinking of letting you live.
I'm
but
still alive. I need
this-
one more bullet.
this fucking accent is just pissing. It's been pissing me off for years.
Wait, whose accent? Kenny's?
You're fucking bullshit. You're Italian. You're not even fucking Japanese.
Oh man! Wait, so this guy really is Italian? He's not Japanese?
He's really Italian this whole time.
Damn it!
And now
Damn
he's
it.
dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, now he's a dead Italian who faked Japanese. He's the Rachel. He's the dead Rachel Dolezal of 1972 or whatever.
Man, I don't know that reference, but
1970.
I'm bummed. Okay, go on with your story. You
Mike
fucking
wrapped
bitch.
Mike wrapped Kenny in a padded shipping blanket they used for the peep machines and dragged him outside to Kenny's own gold Cadillac, where he shoved the body in the trunk.
That's like that old school like insult, like you know.
But just as he slammed the door shut, he had a horrible realization.
I don't have the keys.
They were in the dead man's pocket.
Oh,
So now he's got to call it a tow truck in the middle of nowhere, or what? Like, oh fuck.
No, he's at his warehouse in the middle of downtown Atlanta.
Oh, so anything will look conspicuous. People will see.
Sure. Panicking, Mike did the only thing he could think of.
OnStar, I need your help immediately. I left
seems
my
to be the
Trader Joe's. Yeah. I left my Trader Joe's stuff in the trunk. Can you please open it?
This is OnStar. We're sending somebody right now.
No, wouldn't OnStar be like, you don't sound like Kenny, the Japanese guy? I'm gonna send the PD over there to help.
But he wasn't Japanese. He just faked it. I can do a Japanese accent if that helps.
Do your Japanese.
I'm a Kenny.
That was not. Like, I don't believe you.
Well,
hi, I'm a Kenny.
that's the perfect Japanese Italian accent.
That actually
That
was
sounds
really
like
good.
a Japanese person studied English in Italy.
I'm stuck in the trunk.
She even had the face movement.
Panicking, Mike did the only thing he could think of and called his
Shit
best
his
friend,
pants. Oh.
Roger.
Okay.
The former locksmith showed up and popped open the trunk.
A real Breaking Bad kind of
Former
situation.
locksmith. What does he do now?
Now he works in the porn company
Forget
with
about
Mike.
it. Oh, okay, yeah.
Roger grabbed the keys and drove the Cadillac to the airport, leaving it in the parking lot. He used a blowtorch to melt the car locks shut, then melted the gun into a small metal lump that he tossed in the river.
Smart.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's kind of fun.
That is kind of
You
cool.
just meld things into little metal lumps.
He bought it at Sears.
We're teaching future criminals.
He bought what? What?
The
did he-
blowtorch at Sears.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a part of the story.
It's in the source material that I went to. I just didn't write it
Then
down.
he went to Sears to get the like anyone's ever like. I mean, where did he get all those tools to work on the car? He went to Craftsman to the. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Realizing things had gone too far, Mike immediately got out of the porn business, dumped his dance teacher mistress, and committed himself to living on the straight and
This is
narrow.
his first murder.
Jesus.
This is his first murder, right?
Yeah.
That we know of. I mean, like he most likely didn't kill anybody else, right?
Yeah, this is the one.
He's gone from like he kind of just took that step up of being like involved in mob stuff to be like, I just killed some dude.
Oh, yeah.
Fucked me over.
Yeah, so like you hit that point where he looks at this and goes, I got to get out of this business. I'm going to live straight in the narrow, got rid of his mistress, just focus on his wife, focus on his life.
Oh wow. So that okay.
Yeah, no, none of that's true. Instead, he decided to commit tax fraud.
time. Every fucking time. I at least listen how far I've come though. Listen
Yeah.
how far I've come in crime. I at least thought like, well, that's what's gonna happen for like a week, and then something crazy happens, and he's back in it. So I at least knew that there was more to the story. And I looked down. There's tons more paper.
Yeah.
I could feel that we're not through the story. So I at least knew that much.
Did you just straight up lie to us?
But But he didn't. Jen, I'm gonna tell
Everything
you
until this moment's been true, but this moment was a total lie.
He just did it to fuck with me.
Yeah. Instead, he decided to commit tax fraud and by not reporting the full cash income from the machines,
So he didn't stop hanging out with his mistress,
as well as add on another mistress.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's what they say, dude. When life gives you lemons, like get more mistresses.
Yeah.
You know,
Fuck more.
The only way to get out from another relationship is to get under multiple other mistresses.
Yes.
18-year-old Patricia McLean started off as a hostess in his restaurant, but quickly climbed the ranks, becoming the president of one of his biggest companies.
Oh wow.
Mike had a thing for strong women, as he wrote in his journal, quote, I learned early that women, for the most part, make the best executives. Not only did I find them more loyal, but harder working and more determined than most males.
Oh, the liberals are gonna love this comedian or this criminal. He's
criminal.
He's criminal. They're like, the good thing is he employed Muslims. We're like, but he killed a lot of people. Well, he wasn't very racist.
I like that she went from hostessing to running a company.
Well,
She was ambitious.
Can I show you to your table?
she was probably beautiful. Obviously, she was strong and probably very smart. And he saw that and was. I think you can still do that. You can
Also very 18.
Oh, yeah.
so like
she was hot.
all
Also,
these-
she was hot. Yeah, I forgot that. I haven't done the most
very
obvious
18.
stuff. Thank you, Slaton. Also, she was a hot young piece of ass. And
22
he was a
years
horny
younger than
dude.
he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
22 years.
In 1971,
1970 wrong.
In 1970,
mom says when you
L.
get the dates
Ron
wrong?
Hubbard renamed all the dates. In 1971,
riff.
Roger began to get nervous about the business.
So he had sex with another chick.
Atlanta had become the murder capital of the country, driven heavily by violence surrounding the sex business. When he asked Mike to buy him out of the company, Mike obliged. But no arrests came. So Roger came back asking to buy back in. Mike instead hired his friend for a mere $50 a week.
What, back to $50 a week again?
But Mike is the main
Yeah.
character. Roger, the guy who helped dispose the body, who was his partner for a long
Yeah.
time, was like, I need to get out of this business. It's getting too hot. But when the heat didn't come, he's like, can I buy back in? He goes, no, but I'll hire you for like really shitty wages.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mike's kind of a dick.
Stick it to him.
How much money did he have saved from this already? I mean, you're talking about these profits that are so big. It's like,
Millions.
Yeah, but Roger was a minor partner. Mike was like the major partner.
but a minor partner out of $100 million a month deal, I mean, you'd think is going to still be like, I still made $300
Yeah, I don't
a
think
week.
they saved their money very well. From what
Every
I
day
gathered.
he had to go to Coinstar with all his quarters
As a
on
criminal
the
too.
machine.
Hey, what are you fucking looking at? He just got buckets and buckets of quarters.
Now filthy rich, Mike built a 30-room mansion called the Lionsgate Estate, one of the largest private homes in America at the time. He bragged that he paid for it with quarters from his machines.
That's pretty badass, right? One time I bought 2 Star Wars, those miniature toys. They weren't like the little ones. They were like the ones where the figures are about an inch tall, you know?
Okay.
When I bought the Imperial TIE fighter,
Sure.
and I bought an A-Wing fighter, and they were super cool. And I bought them with coins that I had saved up. But I was already way too old. I was at least 16 years old.
Yeah.
I was
That's a
late
really sad
I
story.
was a late bloomer. But I bought them with quarters and pennies and stuff like that at Toys R Us, and like with a big line behind me. Very similar to the story.
Oh, you paid with the change? Did you at least roll it first?
I don't think so.
You just slide. I imagine you sliding each coin across with a single finger.
No, I wasn't that
10
bad. But
cents,
the rolling up stuff when you have a lot of
20
coins is
cents,
almost like someone needs to pay me by the hour to roll
30
these
cents. Just hold on, I'm gonna be here for a minute. 40 cents, 50 cents. Open another line.
up. I was quicker than that with the quarters. I could be like $4, $1, but it was like $30 or something like that.
I picture you paying only in dimes. Because you a dime girl. That's what's up.
A dime a dozen. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, I'm a rose.
Where
I'm a needle in a
was I?
haystack.
Oh, he filled his place with over $10,000 in flowers, more than the average American salary. A visitor once said he saw $1 million in cash sitting out on the table. Also, Evel Knievel apparently hung out there. That was just a
badass. That's awesome.
Alone at the top of the mountain, Mike began to get paranoid. He bugged the phones in his offices. He gave his employees lie detector tests. He started filling the higher positions in the company exclusively with family members. As it turns
That's
out,
always in history been a great way to make sure everything's safe. You
Right.
fucking moron.
As it turns out, he was right to be concerned, as he was convicted of obscenity charges in 1971, narrowly avoiding jail time due to his expensive attorneys. But Mike simply could not learn his lesson.
Oh, Mike.
In 1973, one of his former employees, Jimmy Mays, opened his own bookstore in Atlanta.
No, I'm thinking of Billy Mays. Okay.
Yeah, different one. Jimmy opened his own bookstore in Atlanta, building and installing his own peep show machines.
This is the best peep show machine you have ever seen. One time you try this peep show machine, it will get all of the stains out of your clothes and cover them with one giant stain of cum. Just call 1-800, right? Isn't that how Billy Mays did his thing? Okay, go on with your story.
On September 13th, Jimmy left his bookstore, got into his truck,
He got a little tongue twist.
turned the key, and the vehicle exploded.
Shut.
After police cleared the wreckage, Roger snuck back to the crime scene, scooped up Jimmy's wristwatch along with some skin and bone,
and ate it in front of everyone.
Brought it to Mike, where they discussed turning the remains into a paperweight.
Oh, Jesus.
Like they killed him and
They killed him a lot.
You killed him.
They like super
oh
killed
my
him, bro.
God, into a paperweight.
Yeah.
Wow, that's symbolically trippy. Did they make the
Look,
paperweight?
Shefsky, I promise if I ever kill you, I'll make you into paperweight. Like that's my promise to you as
Maybe not
as a
maybe-
friend.
Maybe something cool like a
I would make you into a chair.
yeah.
Yeah. So I could sit on you.
That was really fast, Jen.
Or like some
If I
utensils.
just sat like this and you guys could sit on my...
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't even do anything different. You would just place him in a chair shape.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I would put a little poopy in your hair so all the flies will come around.
Nice.
That'd be a really weird... People would be like, I don't know what's going on with Jen lately, but her John chair is kind of weird and it's getting old and I don't think she cleans it. It's got a caterpillar or... No, that's a piece of shit hanging off its head. You'd be weird for doing the shit thing, Jen. The rest of it, I'd be like, that's pretty trippy. But the
Anyone
shit
think it's strange that Jen's ottomans all look like babies stacked on top of each other?
Oh.
stacks of baby couches. Mm-hmm. You are weird. I feel like I'm on a podcast called "The Real Killers Are the Guests and the Hosts of This Podcast," except for John. What the fuck's the matter with you two?
Roger, believing he'd earned his way back, asked Mike to make him a partner again. Not only did Mike refuse, but he taunted his friend, saying he'd paid for his mansion with what would have been Roger's cut of the profits.
One day you'll be a fucking paperweight if you keep fucking around. Ah!
What could I be like a stool or maybe like, I don't know, a cutting board?
What are you, fucking stupid? You can't be anything. Just shut up and get back to work.
All right. Roger did not take the abuse well. He needed to be rich just like his friend.
Who doesn't, right?
So he turned back to his old hobbies of burglary and theft. It didn't take long for the law to catch up with him, and in 1974, Roger was sent to prison for possession of stolen gold coins and illegal firearms. Later that same year, the FBI hit Mike with pornography and arson charges. He was convicted and sentenced to 8 years in prison.
Do you think these guys like would have if they would have just like not been if porn wouldn't have been like treated so badly that they would not have got into these other crimes? Or do you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it like an association with like, because you made porn, like
Criminal.
it's like weed versus like tobacco. Like if weed, you know, how weed's illegal and so it gets lumped in and it
Did this
turns
have the
people,
same prohibition thing that alcohol had and things
you know
like
what I'm saying?
that?
Like once you cross over to like, you're a criminal, then other things that are crimes are not so far away. You know what I mean? Like a gateway to like,
I don't know. How many porn murders are there now?
I don't know.
We need to
I'm not
know
a
about that.
statistical guy. I'm just asking you. You're the daddy of this podcast. I am the kid, remember?
Well, get on timeout so I can move on with the story.
I'm a bad
I just did
kid.
your job.
I'm a bad- oh.
I just did your. I told me to go on.
I'm going to set you
One day I'm going to be
fire.
both of us.
That's a really weird fantasy. A surgical fantasy by Rich Slaton. One day I'll be both of us, and you can't tell me what to do unless you're on me. As like a part of me, not on me.
Jeanette, Mike's devoutly Christian mistress, broke up with him for being such a huge criminal.
Devoutly Christian mistress?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That was sort
maybe
of the
she was
idea,
devoutly
yeah.
dumb too. She didn't know.
I
She
love
thought she was his
God,
wife.
but I'll let you put it in my butt.
That sounds great.
But that's the best way to love God is just to keep it there so you don't become unvirgined.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I'm still a virgin to this day. I only put it in my butt. It's really weird.
That's really weird.
And scene. Good job, everybody. Joan and Pat did the opposite, visiting him in prison at the same time where he would kiss them both hello.
Oof.
While Mike sat in jail, the FBI continued to investigate. They had suspicions he was involved in something more than porn and fires.
Oh,
They just needed proof.
Do you think all the mistresses got together while he was in jail?
And did what?
I don't know.
They had a nachos, like a fondue dip
Lick
party.
each other?
Oh, thank you,
Just
Jen,
on the
for
elbow.
adding to the sexuality of this podcast. Yeah, did they have some sort of all-female orgy? And are there pictures, at least, of what this might have looked like, Rich? Can you just describe what would happen? What do they call it when people are all in that circle? It's like a train thing where it's like a circle. Everyone's just going down on
daisy
each
chain?
other. Is that what it's called? Oh, it's so
A
hot.
daisy chain?
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
so
heard
hot.
of that.
You've seen a picture though. You've seen an aerial
I prefer the
shot.
term the never-ending story.
Is that also? Oh, infinite pleasures.
I don't know if that's true, but
Never-ending orgy. Ha 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 ha.
Atreyu! He's drowning in a big lake of cum.
You had to go come.
Well, what else would the horse drown in this
Folks, he
case?
went 0 to come in less than 50 minutes. Go on with your story, kid.
Go, Speed Racer, go. In 1976, they raided his warehouse, seizing thousands of porn films and sex toys. But the real prize was in Michael's safe, a to-do list.
Oh, fuck.
The first item on the list,
kill
Roger Underhill. He made a to-do list. He's like, okay, let's see, gotta pick up the laundry.
I make to-do lists too. I just can never imagine being like, okay,
Gotta work
and
out this week.
Wouldn't you see it written down and be like, okay, this is going too far. I need to call Roger and just kind of like
Kill Roger.
What do you call it? Bury the hatchet. Just be cool. Like you see kill on a paper and you're like, you know
Yeah,
what?
or at least he could have done right, like bury the hatchet with Roger, which could mean like bury it in the back of his head. That would have a smart way to do the to-do list.
That would be.
How would you have to remind yourself to kill someone?
That's another. Just
maybe Mike's
great
just really
question,
forgetful.
Jen.
He's like, "Fuck, what was I gonna do on Wednesday?"
I'm kind of stressed,
Wednesday.
and like my psychologist told me to just write down everything that I was thinking, and so then I
Wednesday.
had just a list of 14 people. Yeah, if you have to kill, that's it, Jen. If you have a lot of people you got to kill, you got to start writing it down.
you got
'Cause then you
you got
forget.
bowling league. You have your church meeting. You got to pick up milk because you guys are out. You got to kill your friend. You got to get the car fixed. All those sort of things.
Blow up cars.
That's Then it
Get
has
more nudie pics.
What the FBI didn't know was that Mike was already trying to cross that item off the list. He hired numerous inmates to murder his former best friend, but each time Roger fought and survived.
How do you hire inmates? I don't understand that process. They never show it in the movies. Or
Yeah.
do
Give
they?
them
They got people on the outside.
What do you care if you're an inmate to get hired? Oh, yeah, because you get the money so you can buy the top ramen, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of ramen.
the
Consider
FBI.
it done.
The FBI.
Cigarettes and magazines. Make the deposit.
Rich's face.
I'm an inmate in this sketch. I'm willing to kill so I can get more ramen, so I can make some wine in my toilet. Make some chocolate chip cookies. Go on with your story.
The FBI
Feety
even
bags. Oh, man. I get the knitting stuff that I wanted so I can work on that sweater while I do this time in prison.
the
And
FBI.
then I'll be able to buy.
I'm just joking. I don't have any other items that he'd buy. I don't know what else they buy in their little
The
marks.
FBI even got a recording of a phone conversation between the old pals. Are you trying to kill me, Mike?
Oh, God. It's just like right in their face.
Well, Roger, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So this guy, man, dumb dummies.
Roger finally had enough. He had spent years of his life trying to be a good friend. He'd burnt down buildings, disposed of bodies, and blown up cars for Mike Thevis.
I do everything for you, man. I burned down that building. I fucking killed a fucking guy for you.
Yeah, I
This how you
mean,
treat me? We
Look.
were like brothers.
we were like acquaintances, really.
How could you say that, man?
I know we've known each other for a while, but it's not like we're close or whatever.
We're not close. We shared that fucking sandwich last week, man.
You ate what was left of my sandwich. It was a little different.
Because I let you eat first because you're my fucking boy.
I mean, I'm a man, and I kind of take offense at you. You don't. This clearly, by calling me a boy means you don't know me.
I don't think I know nothing now.
I mean, yeah, you're
Question in the world.
Look, I know that you kill people for me and blew things up for me and all this different stuff.
Because you're my boy. You know what I'm saying? That's what dogs do.
Again, it's the boy thing.
Fist bump.
This is why we haven't.
Dabs.
This is why I've kept him on the
Dabs,
outside
bro.
for so long.
Fuck.
Oh man, this is so awkward.
So you're going to have to leave the jail now. Visiting hours are over.
Visiting hours are always over. We through. But
Thank
if you ever
God.
change your mind, hit me up.
Officer, thank you for doing that. Because honestly, I've known that guy for like 30 years. He's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, and he smells.
I'm still here. Why are you saying that? I didn't fucking leave yet,
He
bro.
keeps on acting like he's part of the conversation.
Sir,
you know?
smell like a stink bomb. Please leave.
I was jacking off in this thing, and then they smoke. Never mind.
Roger would have
Just
taken
lost a
his
friend.
secrets to the grave. But it was hard to forgive someone for repeatedly trying to kill you.
Right?
When the FBI...
That's good writing right there, Rich. It's true.
But it's hard to forgive someone that's repeatedly trying to kill you.
When the FBI approached Roger and asked him to wear a wire, he agreed. Mike and Roger just met up and discussed the murders.
Just don't tape it to my hairy chest.
Their failed relationship. Their
There's
failed
a lot
friendship.
of tinglies on here, those spinny corkscrews.
and the possibility that Roger might testify against Mike unless he received $1 million bribe. Despite the growing case against him, Mike's time in jail was easier than most. He used his vast fortune to buy privileges like unlimited phone calls, at least one unsupervised trip outside the jail, and regular conjugal visits with Patty, where the prison guards watched them have sex through a one-way mirror.
Oh, dude, that's even hotter than regular sex at your house. You'd be like, here, I get to fucking, like, people watch. It's hot.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like you could make a business that, like, look, we'll pay.
He's the porn dude.
No, I'm talking about like right now. Like
okay.
if we bought a place that was kind of like the studio, but had a one-way mirror instead of a two-way.
Yeah, I just had some people had sex in there.
Look, you can pay on both. You can pay to be on the watching side, and you can also pay to be on the fucking side.
If you're a listener and you open that business, can you please give us credit and like at least let us come by and like?
He actually became a
part of
live
it?
peep show.
That's hot. You know, at the Standard, the fancy like hipster hotel over here on Sunset, they got that like they'll have like those beautiful models like in. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, they just
like
stand
in a
there.
case, and you're like, what is she doing? She's just like reading, and she like they'll be like laying down like reading on like a comfortable, and they're just in this like it's super trippy, right?
An odd fucking job.
I know, but like, what if it pays well? And you're like, it's kind of
Sure,
easy.
it
and
pays
I
well.
got a lot of reading done too. Like you get a lot of reading done.
You could be a peep show model.
Yeah, but like, what do they let you
I've
read?
thought about it before. I had a gay friend that told me like that I could do it, and he was telling me how much they pay to like just watch dudes jerk off on chatter cams or whatever, and I was like, really? But
they pay you to watch or pay you to jerk
they pay
off?
me to watch? God, that'd be crazy. I just got to watch? No, they pay. Yeah, you get paid to like just rub one out, like people watch.
Do it.
Well, I feel like it would affect my comedy career. I don't want to be the comic that jacks off for people.
Your face doesn't have to be in it.
That's what he said. That's so funny.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I was like, really? But won't people notice my tattoos and love handles?
Also, don't they want to see your face? Isn't that like part of the thing?
No, there's a total
No.
sexual thing about
That's
the
too
imagination.
personal.
Yeah, there's like a whole like fucking cover your face because it
Look,
you can-
when I watch guys jack off on the internet, I want to see face.
I know, Slaton.
You're not
I
supposed
know.
to make eye contact.
Well, yeah, that's why I always tell them to look off camera. Pretend you're talking to someone behind the camera.
If you're gonna make eye contact, you can't make eye contact.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, man. I like that.
know
That
what
should
I'm
be
saying?
your next tattoo.
Okay.
You should tattoo it right now.
You guys are making me
I'll do it for
horny.
you.
Jamaican me horny.
Jamaican me.
Is that a drink?
Jamaican me horny. By 1978, Mike finally began to feel the heat. First, Joan finally divorced him. Next, he was denied parole.
We're through.
Then he
It's
was
over.
hit with a RICO case.
What's a RICO case?
It's where
Hey, it was a Rico Suave. You've been served.
RICO is where they tie a criminal, or like they charge everyone in a criminal organization with the same crime because
Yeah.
one person did it because they're all part of the same criminal organization. It's one of the main ways they take down like big
Like
organized
Manson,
crime.
like Charles Manson. Like he didn't physically kill those
I don't
people,
know
but
if
he got
that's.
people to do it. So
I don't know if they got Manson
Yes.
on RICO, but that's how they'll take, for example, a whole gang down.
Yeah,
is by
okay.
getting RICO charges. Like, oh, you're part of this group, and therefore we're making
You guys did
all.
this. It's your crime. You have to all. Yes.
Finally,
Yes.
so he has all these bad things happening to him. Finally, the worst one. He gets word that Roger Underhill was preparing to testify against him in 2 murder
That
trials.
motherfucker.
It was time to act.
I forgot how that character sound. How does Mike sound? I was like, wait, that's the wrong guy. This fucking
Roger?
guy.
This fucking guy. On April 28th, the prison guards escorted Mike to the chief's office to use the phone, which he did for several hours every day.
But this day was different.
When they returned that evening, he was gone.
He escaped?
He bribed his way out with cash and expensive cigars.
Nice. This guy's
What year is that?
1978.
Interesting.
The FBI added the escaped con to the 10 most wanted list and sent posters with his face all over the country.
Made no fucking difference. I'm out of here.
The feds brought Patty in and charged her with aiding his escape. She kept her mouth shut.
Wait, Patty's his mistress.
Yeah, the 18-year-old mistress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she stayed quiet.
Or now she's not 18 anymore, but yeah, the young mistress. She's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not saying
Of course
shit.
she's staying quiet. She doesn't want to get whacked.
Yeah.
While Patty was refusing
Yeah.
to testify in
Yeah.
court, Mike was on the highway speeding to freedom with Jeanette Evans in the passenger seat.
Oh, he dumped Patty for Jeanette.
Wait, Jeanette was his other mistress?
Jeanette, the one who quit because she's like, I'm Christian and you're kind of too criminal.
Yeah.
Now she's like, oh, you're out. Let's go fuck.
Dude, this is how our penises are like the front of like a compass. They just lead us towards things, and we just, all right, penis. It's like a dog that you walk like a pit bull that's too strong.
Come
for
here,
you.
penis.
You're just like, okay, he wants to go to the left. You just go whichever way the dick points.
For months, the couple traveled all across the country in the 1979 Chevy Caprice Classic.
Then they broke up.
The car held a small fortune.
No.
Over $500,000 in cash and over $1 million in jewelry, plus a radar detector, a wig, 5 handguns, and a printed copy of Roger Underhill's 300-page interview with the police.
God, doesn't that sound fun?
Seriously, so much sushi. Never worried about having to pull over and get gas. Probably unlimited coconut water and fancy drinks. Yeah.
As the lovers crisscrossed
and a
the
little bit
U.S.
of clothing shopping, right? Let's go to a show.
They actually did.
Book of Mormon? It's on me.
They actually did at one point go shopping for a...
Want to get dressed? Let's go to the Gap. We'll get everything.
At one point, they went shopping to get her a wedding dress because they were talking about getting married.
Yeah.
And as they were in the shop for the wedding dress, his bag broke open, like $100,000 in cash just spilled across the floor of the shop.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that, ma'am. Let me just grab my...
Can you just hand me that real back really
that
quick?
right there. Oh, sorry about that, buddy.
Nothing weird here.
You're standing on my stack of hundreds right there. Oh, thank you. The guy like moves his shoe over.
As the lovers crisscrossed the U.S., Mike spent his time reading the full 300-page account of his crimes and making angry notes in the margins.
Ooh.
Then Roger did the unthinkable, suing the absentee Mike for $8.3 million.
Nice.
A case he was sure to win against a convict on the lam.
How can you sue somebody that's not there?
Because he's a convict on the lam, so
Yeah.
you're probably like...
So he's like suing the estate.
There's probably a way that you can do that where they're like, well,
At
he's
some
fucking
point,
escaped.
Mike actually gave power of attorney to Patty, the younger of the girlfriends.
Yeah.
So I think that's how that could happen.
Got it.
To this chick he was just hooking up with. He gave her... You got to do what you got to do.
Patty.
When Mike heard about the lawsuit, he lost his shit and turned the car back towards Atlanta. Jeanette, the devout Christian, reached out to her cousin, a South Carolina cop, for help.
Help! He's going mad.
No, that's not what she did. She got the cop to help them get fake IDs, a new car, and a silencer for a 30-06 rifle.
Oh, wow. And the cop did it?
Yeah.
The cop wasn't like... I guess you're probably scared at that point. You're like, if I say no, he might have me killed.
Or you're just kind of corrupt and don't give a shit.
A lot of money.
What kind of cop is corrupt and doesn't give a shit, Rich? Come on. What kind of world are
You're
we
right.
living
That
in?
was out of line.
If that was the way things were, we would never get anything done.
Roger was getting ready to testify before disappearing into the federal witness protection program, but he needed to handle some business before his life changed forever. He wanted to sell his only holding, a piece of undeveloped land, so he and his wife could have some cash as they started over. So against the FBI's advice, Roger left his out-of-state safe house and returned to Atlanta.
Uh-oh.
So they're telling him, like, don't go. You're
Don't-
safe here.
Yeah.
But if you leave, anything can happen.
Exactly. On October 25th, 1978, Roger met a prospective buyer at the property. As they walked through the field, a shotgun blast tore off the buyer's face.
Oh,
As Roger
Wait, the
turned,
buyer's face?
the buyer got shot in the face.
your face is gone.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, the way you wrote that, I just want to tell you.
You thought the buyer was the shooter?
I feel like when you take a piece of pizza and it's fresh, like you just got it, and you pull it up and the fucking cheese slides off it, but the bread's in your hand still. I feel like I just saw that happen to a man's face.
That's kind of what happened, yeah. His like nose and mouth got blown off.
Okay, this is...
As Roger turned, a second blast hit him in the chest and head.
Oh, fuck. So this is a third party here. There's another
Yes.
gunman on the grassy knoll.
Mm-hmm. Half an hour later, Roger's wife arrived, discovering her husband barely alive.
So
Now-
did he buy the property or not?
Well, actually, one of the things I read was that when she got there, she thought she saw two like garbage bags sitting in the middle of the field.
It was
and
two
then she
people?
walked
One
up
was
and
her
it was
husband?
the dead guy and her like dying husband.
Oh my God.
Roger made it to the hospital where he was met by FBI agents.
Hello, I'm an FBI agent. What's your name, young man?
Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Wait, where
Where's
was he
my
shot
face?
at? Where was he? Was the one who got shot in the face?
In
No.
the chest and the face.
Oh my God. Well, it's been a pleasure. I hope you do well. If you ever
Gurgle,
get
gurgle,
out, come visit us at the station, young man.
Gurgle.
Would you like to meet a professional athlete or something? You're most likely going to die.
Gurgle.
I think gurgle means no thank you. I just like to be left alone now. See you later. Oh, and here's
Gurgle.
a coloring book and a child's, what do you call those little badges? The plastic badges they'll give to kids to
Gurgle.
gurgle.
The lead investigator took Roger's hand and asked, "Do you know who did this? If you do, squeeze once. If you don't, squeeze twice." Roger squeezed once. Was it Mike? The agent asked. Roger squeezed once more, then he died.
Jesus.
2 weeks later, Mike, calling himself R.B. Evans, entered a bank in Connecticut.
R.B. Evans, dressed like one of those cowboy Texas businessmen like Jack Nicholson in Mars Attack.
I'm a Connecticut cowboy.
with a suit, with a suit and like snakeskin boots and like a rhinestone, hat and
I'm a
howdy,
midnight-
I'm Arby. My family got most our cash from oil.
Why? Welcome, Mr. Arby. I don't need to know where you got the money from. But
No,
that's-
y'all should know my backstory to know that that's who my character really is. Otherwise, you might think I'm someone from a story, or maybe even one of them Italian boys, which I'm not. Pay no attention to my hair growth or my facial structure or even the shirt that I'm wearing underneath my cowboy hat, which is clearly Italian. It's the shirt from Goodfellas with the long things on the, one of those weird ties. So I'd like to buy something here. I'm Rich from Texas again.
You know what, Mr. Evans? I'll be right back.
Yeah?
I'm just going to go talk to my manager. 'Cause a guy as important as you, we need to make sure that we're all.
Please take your time.
I don't think there's anything to buy at the bank.
Hey, manager, this
I buy the whole goddamn bank. My family made a lot of money in oil.
this very clearly Italian guy is telling me he's like a Western oil baron.
Yeah.
How do you want me to handle that?
And then he's standing like right next to you. No, I'm Italian. I'm Texan. Jesus Christ, don't shoot.
Sir, what's that in your pocket?
That's my big old Italian cock. That's my wallet. I'm from Texas. You see?
Why is there money spilling out on the floor?
Mike entered the bank and tried to withdraw $30,000 in cash. A suspicious bank manager
Which
called the
today
police.
would be
A lot.
you motherfucker.
A suspicious bank manager called the police, who called the FBI. Both were there in minutes.
Ooh,
When Mike saw
fast.
the FBI bringing Jeanette inside, he tried his best to stick to his cover. "I'm sorry I had to involve you as my sister," he said to her with a knowing look. Unfortunately, he didn't know that she had already told the agents that she was his wife. The agents responded by unrolling a giant FBI Most Wanted poster of Michael's face.
Like right there in front of everyone.
They've just been carrying it
they were in
around?
like a Mel Brooks movie, like a comedy of like it just
Yeah.
falls down and like, okay, touche, my boys.
The trial did not start well for Michael Thevis, as the court opened by leading the jury in prayer. Mike tried to deny everything, pinning it all on Roger Underhill and claiming to be the victim of a morality witch hunt. But the deck was stacked against him. The jury saw over 1,000 cartons of evidence, 300 witnesses, and the jailhouse recordings.
300 witnesses? How long was this fucking trial?
I don't know. exactly.
300. How many witnesses a day is that? For 30 days, that's 10 witnesses a day. I'd be like, yeah, if I was on the jury, I'd be like, yeah, what? You guys vote what you think it is. I'm done. I can't.
Well, he was arrested in November of '78, and the trial was in October. I think it was a year later. So yeah, they prepared a pretty heavy case, I guess.
Jesus, I love how square you've stayed through that. I'm just like, my mind's blown by 300 witnesses. He's like, yep, no, that's very standard, John. My name's Rich Slaton. I'm an expert at this. You're overreacting for no reason.
Totally fine.
Okay, go on with your
On
goddamn
October
story.
21st, 1979, Michael Thevis, Jeanette Evans, and her cop cousin were convicted for the murder of Roger Underhill and sentenced to life in prison.
Together, though, right? That's part of the deal. They all got to live in a nice little house inside prison and have sex all the time, right?
Yeah.
Jeanette served 13 years and was released in 1992.
Oh, God, so she's out there right now?
Michael Thevis was never released. He spent the next 34 years in the U.S. penitentiary in Atlanta,
Where he died.
where he had a view of the first apartment he shared with Joan back in 1951.
Ironic as fuck.
Look
Did the
how
judge
that
know
all
that?
just came around.
That is, it's seriously full cycle.
He died in 2013.
Of what? A broken heart?
I think his lungs weren't working or something like that.
How old was he?
Eating cheese out of
I don't know, he was born in
envelopes.
32, died in 2013. You do the math.
I don't go to college
He
for
just
things like
died
math.
in 2013. We were so close to being able to meet him.
I know. At least he got to see September 11th.
And we have an epilogue.
I'm just saying.
We have an epilogue, guys.
What's that?
Like a little extra, like a stinger at the end, after the credits.
What is the epilogue? He's like, I have a book right here. I was like, what's that? He's like, it's a thing, sir. What it has inside is many words organized in a manner that would actually convey a thought from the narrator or writer. Okay.
Epilogue. Michael's mansion, the Lion's Gate, did not sit empty. In the 1990s, it was purchased by the singer Whitney Houston,
Oh my God. So it's got a little bad luck.
where she lived with Bobby Brown.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
The home makes an appearance in Bobby's recent tell-all book called Every Little Step. He claims that he often saw the ghosts of white women walking around the hallways.
Yeah, I think
Claiming
that's just your
that
crack
one night-
eyes, but okay. Just white women. Aren't all ghosts white?
Claiming that one night under a mirrored
You can
ceiling,
tell if it's a black ghost or not. You just think you're all white. You're ghosts.
Bobby Brown
That's the great
claims
equalizer. We're all white. We're all ghosts. And that'd be a cool shirt slogan. We're all white. Don't worry, my friends. We're all white. You think that would make people more mad or happier?
more for sure.
We are all white.
Bobby Brown claims
matter. We are all white. That's Chris Rock. It's all right because it's all white.
Bobby Brown claims that one night under a mirrored ceiling, while he was sleeping naked, he woke up
To the
and was
ghost
having
sucking his-
sex with a ghost.
Are you serious? Bobby Brown said that?
Yeah, it's in his book.
I'm like starting to become a fan again. What's one of Bobby Brown's big songs?
Was this before or after Whitney died?
Before, because they lived in the house in the 90s, and then sometime like late 90s, I think, or early 2000s, Michael Thevis' son Tony bought the house back somehow.
And he was
What-
banging ghosts, huh?
Yeah, I had
Some
no idea.
good cocaine.
I know.
That's
or
what I
just,
do.
I mean, he could just be up for a while from any drug and just, start imagining having sex with ghosts. I mean, don't we all do that after?
That's what that's most of what I do.
Remember MacGruber when he has sex with his ghost?
I've never
his
seen
wife?
MacGruber.
Okay, I
We've
forgot.
talked about it many
that.
times.
Shame on you again.
Yeah.
Please watch it before next episode.
Now, remember in Ghostbusters, the original one, where a ghost blows Ray up in the top of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
all
forgot
flustered. He's like,
about
whoo, that was something else, fellas.
He has like eyes. I love that scene because it's a top-down view of his face and his eyes go crossed, and I'm like, damn, that's a good ghost blowjob.
What if you made love to a ghost? Jen, would you ever have sex with a ghost dude?
Yeah, sure.
Like your ideal man, but as a
That would
ghost?
be pretty awesome.
Like in Ghost?
Do they make... No, but in
Never
Ghost,
seen it.
Doesn't she take the form of Whitney Houston? Or not
Whoopi
Whitney Houston.
Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. Why did I say Whitney Houston? If Whitney Houston... It's the perfect role for you, Whitney. You're dead. I mean, you should play a ghost, right? And Whitney's like, I don't know. But you're a ghost, Whitney. It's perfect for you. But Whoopi Goldberg... She has sex with Whoopi Goldberg, right?
No, they just sort of like touch each other's face and make out.
Yeah, it was more of a...
I never saw it.
Don't
That-
turn it into sex. It was
more reason
more
why
of
I've
like
never
the
seen
love.
Ghost.
You've never seen Ghost? It's a classic.
Oh my God, it's an amazing movie. It is so good.
So good. You'll cry.
It's very simple, beautiful.
Also, never seen
story.
Cocoon.
What? You haven't
Never
seen
seen
Cocoon
Cocoon.
either?
Yeah.
I mean, none of these are as shame on you as MacGruber, but after you watch MacGruber, top priority, then when you get a chance, watch Cocoon 1 and 2. They're great movies, and Ghost is phenomenal. What else haven't you seen?
One
that's-
and two.
Cocoon's so
About the
great.
Titanic.
Yeah, I've seen Titanic.
You picked that one to see?
I love Titanic.
No, I was in junior high when that movie came out, and that was a movie where you're like, well, maybe I'll get to touch some titty if I go to this movie with some girl.
Yeah, date movie.
How could you feel a ghost's body if you were having sex with it? That's my question. I mean, would a ghost ride you and you'd
He said that's what Bobby Brown said, that the ghost was riding him.
like
He was like
grabbing
and,
that
and like he
ghost
very
ass
specifically
and, like-
describes it. He's like, and it felt like a vagina and everything. Like he very graphically describes that he fucked a ghost,
or
or that a ghost fucked him. Really,
I'm just thinking about like a ghost putting any weight in you, like pressure. Like, does a ghost get wet? Like ghost wet? Or is that all your responsibility? It's
kinda cold.
Like you have to have. Oh
Ooh,
my
this-
God!
this
That sounds
chili pussy
gross.
is killing
that
it.
Sounds okay. Now I'm gonna throw
I
up.
think you have some questions for Bobby.
That's another.
He
podcast.
was here
We should
recently.
start questions for Bobby.
Maybe you
Can we
need to
start
get
that
Bobby on the podcast.
Oh,
Bobby
dude,
Brown was at the comedy
question-
store
a
not
weekly-
a month ago.
Was he really?
Who did he come with? Did he come by himself, or he had to have come with a comic?
I'm sure he had a thing,
Who do you think he hangs out with? Martin Lawrence.
mostly,
Yeah.
and Steve Martin. Anybody with Martin in their name.
He hangs out with Steve
Martin
Martin?
Scorsese.
Steve Martin.
Doesn't. Rich is just lying to me again.
Yeah,
He wasn't really here, was he?
Marty McFly.
Was Bobby Brown really here? Or is
Bobby
that a
Brown
lie?
was really here. That's the true part of that.
God, I can never tell when you're lying.
Yeah, he lies to me every episode, every day, every phone call, when we hang out. He stares me in the eyes. He tells me things. I think he's lying.
Today's sources include, first, a quick thanks to my dad for turning me on to today's primary source,
Thanks, Dad.
an excellent article written by Jeff Maish for the Daily Beast. I mean, really, if you want to see some more in-depth stuff, go check that article out. It's called The Scarface of Porn, which is what Michael Thevis' nickname is. Also referenced today, The Washington Post, AllMusic.com, Mike.com, EatonCreative.com, and this time we got zero help from the evil robots at Wikipedia.
Nice job.
No help from those robots this time.
Is it like we're kind of like weaning ourselves off of like the dependence on that robot?
No, there were no sources involved. There's no article about this story whatsoever on Wikipedia.
That's what I love about the stories that you pick, dude. Is that, and I get excited to tell people about it because I'm like, these are stories you most likely haven't heard, and it's so cool to bring those. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like these are. It's just great.
That's why I enjoy it. Check that out, dude. Check out The Scarface of Porn by Jeff Maish. It has some more information we didn't get to put in the story today for brevity, but it's a pretty wild one. And we'll be posting up that FBI wanted poster on the Instagram at some point.
I want to see that.
Yeah, you'll see that. He's a goofy. It was good looking, not for long though. Kind of looked like if Ron Jeremy turned creepier.
Creepier.
Yeah.
That's kind of rude. Ron Jeremy's contributed a lot to a lot of our.
Sure, I get it.
Not just sexuality, but just our manliness and our life. I mean, he had a huge dick, but he's also a goofy guy.
Jen of the Murphys, where
he's so
can
friendly.
people find you on the interwebs?
And I'll continue this on an.
They can
extra
find me
podcast.
at jenmurphylive.com is my website. Or
M-U-R-P-H-Y?
they're on Instagram or Twitter. Just one N, Jen Murphy, Murphy. Yeah.
We'll link that into our social medias. You can follow the show, of course, on all the socials at @CrimePod on Twitter and Instagram.
Thank you guys so much for following those things.
For sure. It's super fun. We love you. You're all super, super cool. You can
Give me
also
some money.
tell your friends about the show. That's the best thing in the world. Give us the 5-star review on iTunes, whatever the hell that shit is. You can also email us, crimepodcast@gmail.com. Send us story ideas,
send pictures
questions.
of your asshole to Rich.
Dick pics for Shefsky.
Yeah.
Pictures of your assholes to Rich. And if anyone has any ghost sex pictures, please send them to us and we'll forward them to Jen Murphy.
Yes, please.
That's what she's
Put them
looking for.
on Instagram. Thank you guys. And everyone who has been supporting us, who's been going on Patreon and been telling their friends, which they have been because the numbers have been going up like every episode.
Nice.
Fucking thank you guys so
Big ups
frickin'
Boston
much.
area. Shout out to New York, Los Angeles, Omaha, Seattle, Tacoma area, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto.
What about Atlanta?
You know what?
Do we have a lot of listeners in Atlanta? I don't
I
think
don't
we
know.
do.
I don't know about our Atlanta numbers. I'll check it
because
out.
It's because you're white.
But you
It's
know
your
what?
fault.
I'm going to reach out to you, Atlanta, now that we've
not
done a story
cool.
about you. We'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Can we do that, Atlanta? Will you come there with us?
Hotlanta. See you soon. Bye, robot.
Thanks, Jen. You're fucking awesome.
Thank you.
You're so much fun. Bye, guys. Peace out. Love you guys. Rich is a bitch.
You guys are so funny. I felt like I spent most of the time just laughing.